What's up, guys? Welcome back to News Dump.
It's a news dump.
Yeah.
Last week's United States visit from His Holiness Pope Francis was the talk of the nation as he visited D.C. to speak before Congress, New York to hold a multi-religion gathering at the 9/11 memorial, and then Philadelphia to see what all this cheesesteak fuss is about.
Yeah. He did a lot more than that, though, and he basically shamed people half of his age for not having the insane amount of energy that he still seems to have at 78 years old.
Steroids.
And to further drive that point home, Pope Francis is releasing a rock album.
So when you think Catholic music, you probably picture a bunch of monks chanting, or maybe a children's choir singing, "Our God is an awesome God."
He reigns from heaven above.
All the dumb hand.
Yeah, I went to preschool that was a Christian preschool.
But anyway, Pope Francis is hell-bent, or I guess heaven-bent, on establishing himself as the Pope of the 21st century.
So, what can we expect from the Pope's hot new mixtape, Wake Up, whenever it drops this November?
Well, they actually already released a track from it on SoundCloud, very modern thinking, and it's giving fans a taste of what P-Fran's flow is really like, and this is some serious prog-rock shit. Right?
Yeah, there's shredding electric guitars, cascading synths, a bunch of orchestral shit going on, and of course, the Pope, who in this track appears in the form of audio from a speech he gave in South Korea, where he says things like, "Wake up, the Lord speaks of a responsibility that the Lord gives you. It is a duty to be vigilant, not allow the pressures, the temptations, and the sins to dull our sensibility of the beauty of holiness. No one who sleeps can sing, dance, and rejoice. Wake up." What a tunesmith.
Yeah, I mean, this is all, of course, covered with audio samples of bong rips and coffee, like the Jamaican flag. No, not really, although
That'd be great. You should actually remix that.
Anyway, in other Pope news, we had said in this week's Weekly Weird News that we were pretty disappointed to hear that he'd had a private meeting with Kim Davis, that cunt of a judge who refuses to give marriage licenses to gay people. And hearing that, it kind of ruined everything that we'd liked about the Pope up to that point.
Well, it turns out that we didn't have our facts straight, and thank God, because it finally came out that although she did in fact meet the Pope, and then go on to talk about it like it was basically a holy endorsement of her bullshit, it turns out that Davis was simply one of the hundreds of people the Pope had met briefly with during his visit, and that he may not have even known who the hell she was.
The details are murky, there's a lot of he said, she said, but it's looking like one of the people responsible for planning the Pope's visit is a Kim Davis supporter, and that person arranged for the meeting. But now whoever that is probably in deep shit because the Vatican is saying that the Kim Davis meeting was absolutely not an endorsement of her views.
Yeah,
Whoa.
No, it was, she just happened to be in one of the meeting groups, came in, shook his hand, and then spouted off all the bullshit about how she's holier than all of us and probably the best person on earth.
This was a day after the Pope met one-on-one, well, one-on-two, with an old friend of his, a student from when he taught high school in Argentina in the 60s, who is an openly gay man, close friend of the Pope, brought his boyfriend, they've maintained a friendship for years, so...
Fuck you, Kim Davis!
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Stop trying to ruin our perfect Pope.
Yeah, our Pope's an awesome Pope. He reigns from the Vatican. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, let's get into the usual news dump circle jerk of entertainment news from throughout the week that we didn't get around to covering when it was actually relevant. So we'll do now.
Yeah, starting with Serial. You guys remember that, right?
Yeah.
The podcast, the spin-off of Chicago Public Radio's This American Life, took the country by storm about a year ago with its 12-episode-long investigation into a murder that happened in Baltimore back in 1999.
Damn it, Adnan. It's basically single-handedly legitimized podcasts as more than just a niche genre, despite the fact that great podcasts have been around for years, and it achieved success and notoriety well beyond what its creators initially expected.
So, since the end of season 1, which, shocker, didn't solve the crime, fans have been anxiously awaiting word on when season 2 would happen and what it would be about.
Yeah.
And now it's looking like season 2 will focus on U.S. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl.
Yeah, back in 2009, Sergeant Bergdahl went mysteriously missing in Afghanistan and became a Taliban prisoner for nearly 5 years until being released in a prisoner exchange in 2014. The circumstances of just exactly how he was captured have never been totally clear, and Bergdahl is currently under investigation for deserting his unit.
So, like season 1, this new Serial season would be all about the he said, she said bullshit.
Oh, you better quit.
Talking that shit. You believe in that? Or at least it'll probably be that way. There hasn't been any official confirmation about the new season, but host Sarah Koenig and one of her producers were spotted last week at Bergdahl's court-martial hearing in September.
Well, you think you're better than me? Is what the judge and lawyers both said to Sarah Koenig, probably. Yeah. What are you going to find out that I can't find out?
Oh, I can't do my job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, her showing up at any workplace is just it just signals that you're not doing your job correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, in other serial news, it looks like there's also going to be a serial TV show, which is cool, and it's being developed by none other than Chris Miller and Phil Lord, which are the guys behind the Lego Movie, 21 Jump Street, and The Last Man on Earth.
Yeah,
just started its second season.
Kind of an odd pairing.
Yeah.
The show will reportedly follow the making of an upcoming season of Serial, and it'll offer a more meta, behind-the-scenes view of the whole process. As with news about the podcast season, details are slim to none, but with this kind of talent behind the project, it's probably going to be some pretty great TV.
And if it isn't good, then she's going to do an investigation on why Phil Lord and Chris Miller made her show so shitty.
Yeah.
Damn it. But speaking of great TV, and we're so sorry to keep bothering you about this, but Fox just released an actual full trailer for the upcoming X-Files limited series, and it looks great, and it gives finally a clearer look at what this thing is going to be about.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, the world events of the last 13 years since the show went off the air, specifically the War on Terror and the whole conspiracy zeitgeist around it, play into this new series quite a bit, but of course with the added element of the evil shadow government being in cahoots with aliens since way back in the 40s.
We get our first glimpse at Joel McHale's role, and it seems that he'll be some sort of government insider who enlists Mulder and Scully's help. And we see Mulder and Scully finally reuniting after over a decade apart. Mulder is creeping through the window. Why don't you look up? Why don't you look up?
Hey, you up?
Hey, you up? Hey, girl.
And of course, they're
X-Files and chill.
They're right back to that classic husband and wife back and forth where Mulder's a believer and Scully's a skeptic. Somehow, despite having seen some really crazy shit over the years, no, there's always a rational explanation.
Yeah.
So everything is right in the world again.
I hope that he just maintains his, the guy from Californication. Where
I'm
he's
a
like
sex addict, Scully.
Sex addict.
What have you been up to the last 13 years?
Fucking
banging a lot of chicks.
Fucking everything that
books
moves.
about it.
Anyways, it's a new month, and that means that there's new stuff popping on Netflix for us to watch. If you want, I can't even do stories about Netflix anymore without people going, "Yeah, man, I'm watching Netflix and fuck. I'm fuck so much. I had Netflix and chill." Every fucking comment that we get on Twitter is like, 8 seconds into Tugs and Chill, she give you this look. Just stop, okay? It's over with. Can we end? Is it officially done now? Anyways, this month, Netflix is stepping into the feature film game with 2 original movies of their own. The first being October 16th's Beasts of No Nation, which stars Idris Elba as a ruthless West African army commander who recruits child soldiers and is directed by True Detective's Cary Fukunaga. So definitely not lighthearted fluff.
No, it looks great though.
Yeah.
It looks really sad. I mean, child soldiers, whatever. Also not lighthearted fluff is Netflix's other film, October 9th's Winter on Fire, an original documentary about the 2013-2014 Ukraine protests that led to all sorts of chaos and violence in the region. It looks really intense.
Yeah.
Both of these films look to be taking a cue from HBO's original filmmaking slate over the years. They both look like they'll be pretty big award season contenders.
It's probably also the fact that like Netflix looks at all the data and they're just like, oh, people like really depressing war documentaries.
Yeah.
Let's make stuff about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know if I'm bored at night, fucking Nazi super weapons, right on the old Netflix there.
Yeah.
Nothing will put you to sleep like watching Hitler develop tanks that are the size of a building. Anyways, aside from those heavy hitters, we're getting Batman Begins, Boogie Nights, Boogie Nights, Born Supremacy, so you can get ready for next year's Bourne movie,
Yeah.
$1 Million Baby, and a new Tremors movie.
Yeah, straight to Netflix, baby.
Woo!
Just wait a second before you call up Bay for some Netflix and shit.
I said stop!
Because according to the Daily Dot, moms are catching on to what's really going down in the basement.
Yeah, check out this screenshot from a Facebook group for local moms. Netflix and chill, have you heard this term? It is not what you think. It is the new slang for hooking up, or basically having sex. I just learned about this recently. I shouldn't have been shocked, but I was. Just wanted to share in case I'm not the only mom who can't keep up with these teens.
And the only visible reply comment is, just confirmed with my son. Yep, not actually watching Netflix.
Wait, that mom wanted to watch Netflix with her son and he just wanted to fuck, or what's going on with that?
No, she just asked her son. Asked her son, what does Netflix and chill mean?
Yeah.
Jesus.
What was the term when we were kids?
I don't know.
Want a bone?
Yeah, give me some head. Remember head?
Head.
Do they say that anymore, or is it just like suck my cock? I feel like it's 2015, people are just way more upfront about it. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Anyway, let's flush out this dump with our favorite video from the internet this week.
RONNIE PICKERING! Who is this video about again, Elliot? RONNIE PICKERING! YouTube is filled with videos full of rage interactions, but this one is the best ever because it's not just anyone being a total dick on the road. Who is it, Elliot? RONNIE PICKERIng!
If you don't know who RONNIE Pickering is, don't feel bad because neither did the guy on the scooter who managed to anger
RONNIE
Ronnie.
PICKERIng!
And not knowing who Ronnie Pickering is.
Ronnie Pickering!
That only enraged Ronnie Pickering even more and prompted him to shout his name a few more times to refresh the guy's memory, to no avail.
So apparently Ronnie Pickering is a former boxer who had some regional success in his youth, though not enough that shouting his name at people in his own neighborhood would make them cower in fear or even know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, so we not only got the great original Ronnie Pickering video though, because you bet your ass YouTube's seen plenty of remixes.
Yeah.
Basically any video.
Hi, my name is what? My name is Chicka Chicka. Ronnie Pickering!
Basically any video ever where someone either says their name or is asked who they are, what their name is, has been edited to include Ronnie Pickering!
Ronnie Pickering!
The results of which are so fucking stupid.
Very bad.
But can't stop laughing.
We watched like 30 minutes of it and every time it got us.
The best one was the Departed one, because it's like 3 minutes of silence and he finally goes like,
how'd you take it up dead man's phone? Who is this? Ronnie Pickering! One more thing before we go though.
yeah, Ricky just went to a real life spooky haunted house full of real ghosts who haunt the place. Isn't that right, Ricky?
Sort of. So I went for the new Poltergeist movie. It's out now on VOD and Blu-ray and all that stuff. So if you're into horror movies, it's October.
Did you
Why not
bring
pick it
your
up?
electromagnetic?
No, but people that I was with, listen, just watch, okay?
Okay, so right down there, those gates down there, that's the location of the Sharon Tate murders where the Manson family came up and murdered Sharon Tate and the guest that she was staying with. We're just a few houses down at the location of one of the most haunted houses in America to talk about poltergeist and get shown around and get scared. I'm starting to get nervous. It's so creepy being so close to this. I mean, this is an American crime history thing. It's one of those things that is always on the tip of the tongues of anyone from this country when they talk about serial killers. They talk about Charlie Manson and his whole crew that did these brutal murders. So it's interesting to be here. I'm excited. Hope I don't get too scared.
By the way, one thing I want to say to you. You have more to fear from the living than you do the dead. There's nothing that I can say about that. I can guarantee you that if you guys are afraid of ghosts, there's something you're going to be even more afraid of. And that's the impending fact that we're all going to die. Not tonight, but we're all going to die.
All right, we're going to the first experience right now. I've been told it's too spooky to shoot video. We're gonna try to get away with it anyway, but I'll let you know how it goes afterwards.
We're basically take a recorder. It's a voice recorder. We're gonna ask a question. We're gonna record it. Then we're gonna play it back. And what people believe is when you play it back, you'll pick up a voice that's not yours, because people think that spirits talk and move and live in a different sort of frequency than we do.
Hello, my name is Patrick. Are you here with us?
My name is Ricky. Are you for real? My name is Ricky. Are you for real?
All right, guys. Well, if you can spot any orbs,
Shut up. Okay, here's the thing. Ghosts aren't real, and I didn't see any there. And
But is there orbs in the video?
None of the equipment even went off. Look, ghosts are very entertaining in film, and they make for some spooky movies. Do I believe that this guy's house, which was built like 11 years ago, is really haunted? No. Was it an okay experience to see a bunch of people who were actually into this shit talk about it? Okay, yeah, that was okay.
You lasted longer than I would have.
Take me somewhere creepy at least. If it's in a building that's 200 years old, maybe it would be like at least creepy to be in there. My apartment is older than this guy's
Yeah,
house.
it's just a McMansion in the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, he has 37 Lamborghinis in his Hollywood Hills
Hey,
account.
whatever earns you money off ghost tours, buddy.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for News Dump.
Yeah, watch our video about abortion, and then watch our other one about George Zimmerman.
Yeah. Just get pissed off.
Yeah.
We have a Tugs video about this game that sucks.
Yeah.
No.